This is The Wheel Weaves, a Wheel of Time podcast with no spoilers. Hey book friends, I'm your host Annie, and I'm the one going through this series chapter by chapter. As always, there's no spoilers past the chapter we're covering, and that means it's totally safe for first-time readers. I'm joined by my co-host Brett, who's a longtime fan, and he's guiding me through this journey. We have a new executive producer level patron to welcome to our executive producer team.
And this one's so exciting that you brought me into this, and I never get to join for this.
It's only exciting because this executive producer doesn't know that they're currently an executive producer.
Yeah, not yet, but they will soon.
Right away. So we'd like to thank and welcome Laura Lewis to the Wheel Weaves Patreon team as an executive producer. And we also want to wish Laura and Johnny a wonderful 9th wedding anniversary.
Yeah, happy anniversary.
Laura Lewis joins the ranks of Brandy and Aaron Kirkwood, Andre the Man in White, Chad Welsh, and Sean McGuire. We also want to welcome Corinne Webb and Josh to the Wheel Weaves Patreon team. Thank you so much for your generosity and your support. And in this episode, we're talking about chapters 8 and 9 of The Fires of Heaven.
Yeah, so chapter 8, we have Over the Border, and chapter 9 is A Signal. And we have so much exciting stuff to talk about these chapters.
False.
That's a joke.
False. We have nothing exciting to talk about these chapters.
Okay, so these chapters definitely going to get a little bit of hate, probably, especially the first one.
From me, you mean?
Well, so this is how I know that you didn't enjoy these chapters. Number one, you forgot that you didn't read the second chapter, and you're like, let's record. Oh, wait, I haven't read the second chapter. And then the second pointer was you started the second chapter and then stopped and didn't restart until much, much, much later. So there was no urgency to it. So no. I know you didn't super enjoy these ones.
It wasn't the best thing I've ever read.
That's fair. It's a lot of in between.
Yeah.
But then stuff is gonna happen just at the end.
Yeah. Let me tell you how annoyed I am.
Yeah.
At these women.
Yeah. Oh man. Oh, you gotta wait for that.
Okay. But okay. I'll wait.
We gotta get to it. So, but I just gotta say one more thing about. The reason why it feels so slow is because we are reading it so slowly.
Yeah.
You could have zipped through these.
Sure.
But we couldn't just pick back up with Nynaeve and Elaine, in the middle of an action sequence.
I get it. I get why this happened.
It's tough.
These chapters are going to leave a lot of room for us to have discussion and speculation. And sometimes the most boring chapters end up being really long.
That's true.
Speculative episodes. So we'll see. We'll see where we go from here.
Have fun with it.
Who knows if we're going to talk about the chapters?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Okay, so I want to get into this fun fact because I've actually been waiting for this fun fact for quite a while until we got back to the Elaine and Nynaeve perspective.
Oh, I thought you were going to tell me more about dried cow poop.
Oh, no, I had to wait because this one takes precedence just because we talked about it previously in Discord. So
okay.
This one's actually thanks to a few of our Discord users, so I'm going to butcher the username, so I apologize for that. But Matt RK76, so he linked a website back when we were in The Shadow Rising. It was a little while ago. That had listed all the corrections and changes made in the books. So it covers, from what I can tell, pretty much all those little continuity errors. And then SM Tai Shan pointed out that one of the ones that we should highlight is a correction from The Shadow Rising. So that's what I want to talk about today, is this fun fact.
Okay, and it's not a Vendosora burning?
It's not a Vendosora burning.
Hashtag to burn or not to burn?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So this one goes back to The Shadow Rising, chapter 46, Veils, and that's the chapter where we were in Tanchico, and we got to see Moghedien compel the girls and ask them if they have any ter'angreal. And then you might remember Elaine was thinking, she was conscious of the Twisted Stone ring hanging between her breasts, but that was not the one in question. So then in this chapter that we talk about, chapter 9 in Fires of Heaven, we actually get a reference to them having the 2 other dream ter'angreal that they got from the Black Aja.
Oh, yeah, they do.
So they didn't just have that one, they had those 2 others.
Okay.
So the continuity error that was corrected...
I get it, yeah.
The new passage is now in the newer versions of The Shadow Rising, which we did not have, is this. Elaine was conscious of the Twisted Stone ring hanging between her breasts and the amber plaque dream ter'angreal secure in a pocket inside her skirt for safekeeping. Nynaeve had the iron disc ter'angreal in a pocket between her skirts. Those things could not be left lying about, but that was not the question.
Okay.
So we've got...
yes.
We've got the girls now with not just the one ring ter'angreal, we've got...
Amber plaque and
iron disc. So there we go.
Okay.
Yeah. So they got 3.
Interesting.
And we get a reference in chapter 9. So we'll talk about that when we get there.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, so there you go. Fun fact.
That is a fun fact.
Yeah.
I like that one.
Yeah.
Okay, so before we get into chapter 8, we're going to talk about what happened last time.
Okay.
So, quick recap. There was a bunch of stuff happening in Ruidian with, like, Darkhounds and Rand needing to leave really fast.
Yep.
There's a whole situation. That's it. That's all I got for you.
Okay. Yeah, no, that sums it up.
It doesn't matter for this episode.
It
so
doesn't.
I've just, like, given a quick, like, that's where we were. That's what we saw. Now, we got to talk about Nynaeve and Elaine, because we haven't seen them yet this book.
Since last book.
So last book, they were doing a bunch of stuff in Tenchico.
Yes. Yeah. Like saving Amathera, the Panarch.
Yes, from the Black Aja.
Yep. And overthrowing the Black Aja, sort of.
Sort of.
Yep. Okay. Battling Moghedian.
Battling Moghedian. That was what I was going to say.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Yep. And that's where we saw them last. We weren't quite sure what was going to happen. We knew that Nynaeve wanted to get to Tarvalin, but we weren't really sure. And so here we are. We're going to enter with Nynaeve's perspective.
But most importantly, the reason they went to Tenchico was for a very specific reason.
To get the thing that the Black Aja wanted to control Rand with.
Yes. And that got sent off with Daman to be thrown off into the ocean.
Yeah, which I still, like, maybe.
Not happy about that?
I don't know.
I thought you were happy with that last book.
Yeah, I was happy with the idea, but I don't like that they didn't watch it happen.
Oh, like they didn't go on the boat with Daman, or like...
Yeah.
Maybe we'll get a perspective of Daman, like, hucking it overboard or something.
I sure hope so.
Okay.
Because...
Your standard rule.
My standard rule. It makes me skeptical. I'm like, where?
Okay. Yeah.
Is it actually gonna get there?
Yeah.
What's gonna happen on his way out to sea with that thing?
Right. Okay. Well, I guess we'll see.
Daman and he's gonna keep it in his collection.
Put it in his secret cubbyhole.
Instead of getting rid of it. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
But they do have a seal for the Dark One's prison.
Yeah, and a big thing that I need to talk about right now that I didn't write in my notes and I didn't think about until right now.
Sure.
Aeginin isn't with them.
True.
I guess she was never going to go to the tower.
Yeah.
I thought maybe, though, they were best buds now. They were, like, just getting along.
Oh, okay. Yeah, turns out no.
No.
Yeah, she's wherever she is.
She's got a job to do in Tenchico.
Yeah.
Although I don't know what that job is going to be now that she's, like, questioning her entire existence.
Overthrowing the Shanshan Empire, obviously.
Go Aeginin.
Yeah, why not?
Okay.
Just write that little storyline in.
I think that's one we have to wait for.
Okay, yeah.
So, chapter 28 is called Over the Border, and the chapter symbol is the sunburst.
Yeah.
But, can I tell you something?
Sure. Or bad at maps?
No!
Oh,
well,
okay.
Okay, well, yes, I am. But, I don't know the immediate difference between the Whitecloak sun...
Sure.
And the Kyrianan
Yeah,
sun.
so you're not only bad at maps, but you're also bad at chapter symbols.
I'm bad at a lot of things.
So this one is what I would call the sunburst.
No,
and
I know.
It's
I know
the full
now.
sun.
I totally know now.
The rising sun's like half a sun on
I'm
a
aware.
flag.
I know now.
Now, okay.
But let me tell you, it's been a long time since I've seen either symbol.
It has been, yeah.
And we just ended last chapter with Rand heading off chasing Couladin to Kyrian.
Okay.
And it's called Over the Border, and in my brain that's like over the Dragon Wall border.
Gotcha. Okay.
And I thought it
so
was
you're talking
sun
before you even...
Before I even started reading. I was like,
okay.
I saw that and went, yes.
I can forgive that then.
And then I went, nuts. No, okay.
I thought it was going to be a big thing about, like, how did they get to Kyrian? Oh my god, okay.
No. I thought this was going to be still either in Rand or maybe in, like, Couladin's perspective. Or
that would be cool.
Like, I thought we were going to get something else. But, like, yeah. It wasn't that
Instead,
at all.
you got this, you know?
And I'm happy. So we're in a Nynaeve perspective. We're back with the Tenchico crew. We're picking up with Nynaeve once again, getting jostled around in the back of a wagon, and they're traveling somewhere.
Yes.
We also get that it has been weeks since they left Tenchico.
Yeah, and it hasn't rained for weeks either. And that kind of picks up with the whole Elida perspective at the beginning, where it's really hot and it's not raining. So, time frames.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. So, it sounds like they're on the border of Terabon and Amedisia. That's the one. I almost said Amathera. So it's like, finally I can say that one. But
yes,
okay.
But we don't even see her anymore.
No. So just quickly looking at this map, they are just south of the Mountains of Mist.
Yeah, because they gotta swoop south around the mountains.
Yeah, and also, wow, they got a long journey ahead of them.
They have a really long journey.
No wonder, because last time
Yeah.
I was so annoyed how long it took them to get from Falma to the
Yeah,
tower.
yeah, took forever.
Took freaking forever.
But it's like, that makes sense now.
yeah.
When you look at it, it's like, they go a long way.
Yeah, it is long. Okay, all right.
So,
And also explains why Nynaeve would have rather taken a ship, even though it makes her sick to be on a ship.
only now, though, is she like, but she's the one who initially shut that down.
Well, there's also other reasons.
There's medium
Like
reasons.
safety reasons.
Yeah, there's like questionable reasons.
Yeah. Okay. So we also get that they were attacked at some point by some, like, bandits.
Yeah. And then you've made a big old dust storm and, like, gave them cover.
Dust storm.
Yeah.
Not rainstorm.
Dust storm.
Dust storm.
Yeah.
Because it's dusty, because there is no rain.
No rain. It's hot. Dust.
Okay, all right. And then we get a recap about who Nynaeve is.
Right. Yep.
How she has anger problems and can't channel unless she's angry.
Yeah, one thing that I will kind of point out here, though, is Nynaeve does think about how her power is increasing, as the White Tower teachers said it would, but I just want to point out that she's already clearly matched Mogedion in, like, raw strength. So, do you think that she still has a ways to go?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so she's going to be, like, way more powerful.
Well,
maybe...
the fact that she hasn't even really been taught
Yeah.
how to do any of this. She's just, like, making it up as she goes along.
So, I mean, potentially next time we see a one-on-one battle, if that happens...
If she knows what to do and if she can get past this block.
Yeah, okay, so a lot of ifs still in that
There's a lot of
equation.
ifs for Nynaeve, yeah. So we also get a mention of Amathera because she had given them a bunch of jewelry and a bunch of money as a bribe to leave.
Yep.
Also, she was ready and willing to buy them a ship to get out, and that's when Nynaeve was like, no thanks.
Yeah, she doesn't like boats. Nynaeve does really bad on boats.
Yeah. So Nynaeve is wearing a little pin or like brooch thing that the Panarch had given her.
Yeah.
And I just made a funny note of this because it says she wore it to remind herself that even women who sat on thrones sometimes need to be taken by the scruff of the neck and shaken.
Oh, okay.
So another little thing, it's kind of like Elida, who puts the picture up
yes,
on the wall
as
to
a reminder.
as a reminder for something else.
Okay.
So it's like a symbol of something. And I like that.
Okay.
So we get a description of Julian. He's with them.
Not Julian.
Julian.
Whatever.
So he's wearing a funny hat.
He is. It's a fez.
Oh, a fez.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, it's brimless, conical, tall, flat-topped. He's basically Aladdin.
Oh, no. Okay, so we get that Elaine and Tom are at the front of the wagon. Elaine is hanging on to Tom, not to fall off. Sure. And she tells him that he drives the wagon wonderfully.
Yeah, so...
And I'm like, God, we're picking up here again.
We're picking up, and it's been a few weeks, so it's clearly gotten worse. So we're catching, like, the tail end of this, hopefully?
No.
No? Are we right in the middle of it?
Yeah, oh yes,
Okay.
we're right in the middle of this.
Okay.
I don't know. I have to bring this back. I mean, obviously we're going to get into it later.
Yeah.
But the stuff I was picking up on last book.
Turns out you were right.
And you were like, really? Really? And I was like, oh yes, this is the worst thing I've ever seen in my whole life.
You know what? I agree.
Oh good, okay.
Of course I agree.
Okay, but
This
that was
is
you
terrible.
leading me off and...
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't want to make sure... I don't ever want you to know that you're right.
I know.
Yeah,
okay,
so-
even with something like this though, that's so funny. So... Turns out Nynaeve is just like frustrated with everyone. She's got her good one braid back
Nice.
that she
Excellent.
can tug, and
Yeah.
she's happy. And she also thinks that something is off with Elaine.
Yeah. And that's probably the weird Tom stuff.
It is the weird Tom stuff. So we don't have time for that now because Whitecloaks are approaching.
Uh-huh.
We got about 50 men coming this way. They've had enough encounters with like people before, but this is the first with Whitecloaks. This seems like it's going to be a super big deal, but spoiler alert, it's nothing.
It's nothing happened. So, when you first read this, did you think for a second, like, ooh, do we know these
Oh,
White Cloaks?
100%. Especially when we get a nod to the Golden Knots.
Yeah.
And I was going to ask you, is this someone we know? But then I kept reading and then nothing becomes of it, so it doesn't even matter.
Yeah. So, it's like, basically, we don't think that they're actually anybody that we know.
No.
Yeah. That's it. That's all it is.
Like, why would anyone we know be here?
Yeah, but I mean, it makes
Yeah.
sense because we're heading into Amadicia, so we have to see Whitecloaks because this is like the
Whitecloak
nation of Whitecloaks. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, it makes sense, but it's just not eventful.
It's not at all.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tom
So-
pulls over the wagon. Nynaeve addresses the Whitecloaks who've approached them, and she tells them that, oh, we're so glad to see you because we were just attacked.
And I gotta tip my hat to Nynaeve because she's actually kind of being diplomatic.
Yeah.
She's like smiling, she's being nice. She's not like super rude.
No, that's Elaine.
Yeah, but it's like
Yeah.
usually Nynaeve fills that role of like telling people what to do and all that stuff.
True.
But she's like doing a good job.
So the Whitecloaks cut her off. They're like, where are you going? What do you got? They have a story set for this. We get that they are merchants carrying some Terrabonner dyes headed to Andor to get good prices for them there. Then we get the Whitecloaks being dicks. No
Yep.
surprise there.
Let's break open a few casks of this stuff to check it out. It's like, why?
But then I won't be able to seal it again.
Not my dyes.
Well, it could have, like, people hiding in there. I don't know. But, like...
It's like, why? Like,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah. But turns out the captain is really only interested in word coming from Tanchico.
Yes.
So Nynaeve sort of gives the gist of it. There's very little order. There's refugees, rebels, bandits, nothing good.
Yeah. She does a good job of like guiding this conversation,
Yeah.
I think.
And the captain doesn't care about refugees either.
Yeah. Yes, makes sense.
He wants to know if Andric is still on the throne, and Nynaeve says yes.
Yeah, okay, so this is interesting.
Well, she says yes. He was still king when I left.
Yes, and Amathera still Panarch.
Right.
But in reality, we like have no clue what's actually going on.
Yeah.
Because we've got Amathera who was she back in charge? Like we didn't see her back in charge when we left.
No, we saw her hiding it out as a serving girl.
Yeah.
I thought that maybe we get that she got back in charge because she gives them a bunch of money and jewelry.
Yeah, so it's like that's the big question mark is like is that what's happening?
Yeah, like
or is
how
she
did
straight up lying at this point? Or is she telling the truth? Like maybe Amathera is back to being Panarch when they left.
Yeah. I thought yes.
Okay.
I thought that this was like a clue, and then later we get that she gave them a bunch of stuff, and if she was still like hiding out and couldn't like return to the palace and stuff, where does she get a bunch of money and jewelry to like give to them?
Yeah, and there's so many, like, there's Whitecloak's plans in Tanchico, and there's Darkfriend plans and Black Aja plans, and then Darkfriend Whitecloak plans too, so...
Yeah, oh
Tanchico's
yeah, that's what
just
I
a
thought you were
mess.
talking about. Yeah.
That's everything that's going on.
Right, and then they blew up half the city with their riot that they started. So.
Yes, yeah, and blew up the other half with the fire hose.
Right.
Yeah.
Bale fire hose. And just like erased a bunch of time.
Yeah, no big deal.
Because we know that like that happened, right? With
yeah,
Balefire?
based on strength, so...
Is there any chance we,
don't really
evaporated Mogedion
Doubt it.
and she's like gone from our memories? No.
Doubt it.
No. Okay. And then this is where the Whitecloak captain is like, oh my goodness, have you heard about any rumors of Aes Sedai?
Yeah, definitely no Horn of Valir under this chest.
Oh, yeah. Definitely
Not
no
in here.
seal for the Dark One's
Yeah.
prison in this wagon.
We don't have anything like that.
Yeah.
So those totally the vibes that I was getting back. So
Yeah. And so Nynaeve keeps the conversation rolling, asks if they've entered Amadicia yet. We get that the border is just 5 miles out. They're going to come to a village. And everything appears to be coming to an end. And then Elaine says something dumb and she's snippy. And then Nynaeve gets annoyed with Elaine.
yeah,
That's
the
it.
whole like she's the daughter heir coming out here.
Yeah.
It's like, ooh, are you here to move the border, Mr. Whitecloak? So it's a bad confrontational point to make right now.
Mm-hmm. And then Nynaeve deflects. Whitecloaks leave. Nynaeve and Elaine bicker back and forth. And then Tom tells them to shut the hell up.
Yeah. So
The
this
end.
is
That's
also
it.
kind of funny though because they've been traveling for weeks, and this is like exactly when the trio of girls were traveling together.
Yeah.
Way back, and it was like super snippy by the end, and everyone hates going with each other.
Well, and especially between Nynaeve and Egwene, and then Elaine was just sort of caught in the middle. But now it's just Nynaeve and Elaine.
It's like in the middle of it.
Yeah, and so I want to be like, who's the common denominator here?
Mhm. It's all of them. They're all
It's
terrible.
Nynaeve. It's Nynaeve getting fed up with everybody all the time. That's what it is.
Yeah.
All right. So the crew approaches the border between Terrebonne and Amadicia without anything exciting happening. Nobody is working or living out in these farmhouses in the country.
Yep. Bandits and such, or at least a fear of bandits coming in.
Sounds bad.
Yep.
They reach this village called Mardisen.
Yeah, Mardisen. Yeah.
Okay. Which seems busier than it should be.
Yeah, that's because everybody who was not on the farms probably moved into this town.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. So Nynaeve seems intent on resupplying and heading out, and Tom is like, nah, let's stay and rest. It's been like a month of hard traveling. One day won't really make a difference in reaching Tarvalin, and seems like Nynaeve is like, fine, we can take a day off of traveling, but we're not staying at an inn.
Yeah.
So you better find us a place to camp.
Yeah, it's like so anticlimactic of everything that happens.
That's it.
It's like, oh, we're not staying at the inn. We're not even going to get to go see like a bar fight or something.
No. We're just gonna go see them get drugged because they're stupid.
Yeah. Well, okay, so it's really funny too because Nynaeve...
Next chapter. That's it, guys. That's the end of that chapter.
It kind of ends, though, with Nynaeve, like, really regretting not taking a ship because she's thinking, oh, we could have been in Tyr in, like, 10 days if we found, like, a raker ship or something really fast, and then we could be on...
And the right wind finder, too.
Or they could do it because they're Aes Sedai, so it's like, whatever, but then they'd be on, like, a carriage to Tarvalin, and they'd be there so much faster, but, in reality, is it a lot better for them that they're not getting back to Tarvalin anytime soon? Because who's in control of Tarvalin?
I know that Elida's in control, but I don't know if that's bad for them.
No? Okay.
Like, Elaine has a relationship with Elida. Elida wants Aes Sedai back in the tower.
She does.
She just didn't like Swan, and she doesn't like the Dragon Reborn. Like, what did Nynaeve and Elaine have to do with that in Elida? Like, what does Elida know?
That's true. Okay.
Unless in Swan's torturing, she gave up information that Nynaeve, Elaine, and Egwene were hunting Black Aja, but Elida also doesn't like Black Aja.
That's true, she doesn't.
So, I mean...
Okay.
I just don't think it's all that bad having Elida there.
I mean, that's fair, because initially, like, Nynaeve and Elaine and Egwene were set off as Swan's, like, Black Aja hunters.
Yeah.
So, do you think that they could fulfill that role under Elida as well?
Like, maybe.
Okay.
I don't know. Probably not, because Elida's very controlling, and if Swan had an idea, then Elida's going to be like, bad idea.
Yeah.
Which, I don't know.
You're kind of agreeing with Elida on that, too. Oh my god, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. We're going to have to wait and see, what happens.
Yeah, I think that we're really, really led to be like, Elida's bad guy, and her being in charge of the tower is bad news because she murdered all the blues. And like, yeah, that's bad. All of that was bad. A war in the tower is bad, but I get it. I get where she's coming from, and I get why she did what she did.
Okay.
And she's not evil, per se.
She just does evil things.
What evil does she do, though?
I don't know. She's advocating for the death of the blues when she was, like, taken over there, from what we could tell.
I don't think she was advocating for that. I think that she was just fighting back against people who were opposing her, and she wanted to be in charge.
That's also bad, though. That's a bad way to take charge. That's like all those things.
Yeah, I agree. That's
as you're
really
saying
bad.
that sounds evil.
It sounds bad.
I just wanted to be in charge, so I took it by force. What's wrong with that? I don't see that. I chopped off only a few people's heads because they disagreed with my political beliefs. I don't. It's like,
why is that so bad?
I don't get it.
Okay. All right. Fine. It's bad.
Okay.
I just don't think it's like as bad as like say what's happening to Morgaze.
Fair. It's not. It's not Forsaken,
it's not
Compounder,
Forsaken.
Yeah. Okay.
Like,
it's like the lesser of two evils in this situation.
Yeah, I think that
Elida,
if Nynaeve and Elaine get to the tower, I think before they get to the tower, they'll find out.
Yeah.
If
the whole point of this was it's like them going back is not an immediate, like, they're doomed situation.
Oh, no.
So, okay.
I think that they'll be in much more trouble if they go to the palace to see her mom.
Yes, I would agree with that.
Much more trouble.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay, there we go.
Okay.
See, this is what happens on the really slow chapters.
All right. Well, I mean, sometimes speculation's important.
Yeah.
All right. So, chapter 9 is called A Signal.
Yes.
Which okay. And the chapter symbol is the Avendasora leaf?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Do you not understand why? We used to get the Avendasora leaf all the time with, like, wisdom-y type stuff.
Oh, yes, the wisdom.
Yeah.
Okay. And the waves.
And the waves, yeah.
Okay.
It's multifunctional.
Yeah, okay. So we continue in Nynaeve's perspective. We're continuing from last chapter. Tom and Julian have found a nice campsite. They're all set up. Tom and Julian flip a coin to decide who's going into town to buy the supplies.
And Tom's got, like, sticky fingers, so Julian flips now.
Yeah, but Tom wins anyway.
Well, it's kind of funny because when I first read this too, I had to remind myself that winning meant you get to go into town.
Yeah.
It's like that's the chore, but you want to go into town because then you can go and go get away.
Sleuthing.
And you can get away from the...
Oh, yeah, but they also,
So-
both of them like to do the sussing out.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, that's what they both really enjoy.
100% some drinking at a bar, too.
Oh, yeah, that too.
Yeah.
So, Tom wins. He's prepping to go into town, and we get a peek at their little treasure hoard hidden in their wagon.
I like that Nynaeve last chapter was thinking oh, this was all probably a bribe too to make us leave. It's like, yeah, but you also took it and then you left.
And then you left. So,
I mean, you gotta get paid, right?
yeah. So this is where we get that Amathera gave them a whole lot of jewelry and coins, and Nynaeve also here has the 2 Dream Terangrial stashed away, and I didn't know what this meant.
Yes.
I thought it was just the regular stone
Okay.
Terangrial, and then it was like, oh, the 2 Terangrial that they recovered from the Black Aja. So a little confusing, but it's definite that they have them here now.
Yes.
For some reason,
They have them.
they have them.
They got 3.
So, plus, we also have the seal for the Dark One's prison, and this is why Nynaeve is eager to get to Tarvalin super fast.
Yeah, and it's interesting, but she feels like she can feel the Dark One trying to break through the seal.
Yeah, weird.
Yeah.
I don't take feelings very lightly, so...
Yeah, well, it's something to note. It's like, we already got to see that Moraine had the one that she was, scraping the bits off of it.
Yeah.
So is this one also weakening to a point where if they drop it by accident...
Probably.
It's like, oh no.
Yeah, probably.
Accidentally broke the seal.
Yeah, I thought that we were gonna get something about this also flaking off or something. I thought something more was gonna happen here.
Drops it in
But
and
no,
smashes.
it's basically just oh, it's here.
Yeah.
Alright, so...
Nothing's happened yet.
Okay. So, off Tom goes into town with the silver because Nynaeve wants some GD vegetables.
Better bring him back, now just some meat.
He brings
Meat
back
and beans.
meat. Yeah.
It's a really funny little tidbit there. I should have liked that little world building that's going on here.
And then, are you ready for it?
Yeah, what happens
we're
next?
We're going to get a whole lot of recaps
17
in case you
pages.
forgot who Nynaeve is and how she hates Moraine.
Yeah, but okay, we do get a little bit of character growth, and I gotta point this out.
No, we do not, and I'll point out where we don't.
Okay, but we almost do. And I know, it kind of backtracks a little bit. But she had set out initially to help shelter the Emmonsfield 5, well, her included, but then she switches to bringing down Moraine, but then she thinks to herself, but the world has changed since then.
Yeah, and then what does she think?
We're not going to talk about that.
She says the whole world has changed, and I'm the only one who hasn't changed.
Yeah.
And I say, I agree.
Well, maybe she has, because it's the world's changed from, her only purpose is bringing down Moraine.
Barely, though.
Maybe. I'm reaching here for something.
Yeah, I know. I think that she has changed. I think she definitely has more of a purpose in this world than just bringing down Moraine. And I think that she doesn't like to admit that.
Yeah, she's got a little ways to go still, but she's getting
I just thought that was so funny.
Yeah.
Everyone's changed but me. I'm exactly the same.
Maybe it's me who's wrong. No.
No, it's everyone else. So we do get some stuff about Nynaeve and her talent for healing.
Yes, and why she likes it.
And why she likes it. She likes helping people. She wants to one day heal Tom's leg and the wound at Rand's side. Surely there is nothing that could not be healed.
Even death, perhaps?
No.
No, okay. That's final?
No, just like a Baalzamon unhealable wound.
Right, okay.
I like that tidbit, though, and I'm going to tuck it away because I think maybe.
Oh, like Nynaeve healing...
Rand.
And Tom? Do you not care about Tom?
Yeah, Tom will get healed. That's
you don't
fine.
even care about Tom, okay.
But he's just got a hurty leg.
Yeah, because he saved the boys from a fate.
I'm aware.
Okay, it just doesn't seem like your face is telling me.
Oh, and he's old. But
old people don't need legs. I'm just gonna twist everything you say.
Oh my god. I know. What I was gonna say is that Nynaeve, I think, will heal Rand.
Yeah, okay, I like that. Tuck that one away.
Yeah, and then help him destroy the Dark One by using the big ol'
Super Sa'angreal guys? Those guys. Statue guys.
Yep.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Not Landfear.
No.
Okay.
No, it's going to be Nynaeve for sure. And then, because she's the most powerful, I think.
Okay.
Or potentially.
Sure.
And now that we have information about how they're used, we don't have to have Nynaeve over in Tremalking and...
True.
Rand over in Tremoncian.
You just
like,
need the little statues.
You just need the statue guy.
Yeah, okay, we're getting somewhere.
Yeah.
A plan is formulating.
Okay, so Tom leaves. Elaine is washing her face.
All the very exciting stuff, by the way.
Nynaeve also wants to wash her face.
She does.
Because it's hot outside.
They're sweating a lot.
And there's a little stream here.
Yeah, that's so nice.
Okay, so Nynaeve and Elaine start having an important conversation. Do you really think Tonchico has fallen? I think that the Whitecloak's Aes Sedai were actually us.
It's like, yeah, good spot, guys.
And I said, yeah, Prob's deaf.
Yeah. It's like possibly maybe the Black Aja, but they were undercover until you guys showed up and like totally messed with everything.
Oh, you blew up everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was definitely you. Yeah. And they also think that there could be a new Panarch and King by now, which is interesting because I thought they had confirmed earlier, and so now I'm just confused.
Yeah, and now it's like, well, they left Emethera as Panarch again, but maybe it wasn't in the best situation because it's not like the Civil War just went away.
No, and especially with potentially the Black Aja, like, fleeing.
We don't know that they actually fled, though.
Yeah, but...
Like, we've got no confirmation on that.
Well, and then with everything that went down, because obviously they couldn't stay in the Panarch's palace.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just assume that everything went to hell, and Jacob Carradine, I'm hoping he just, like, died in the riot. And maybe Leandrin, too.
Yeah?
Like, they're just all dead.
So the person who literally doesn't take anything.
I'm just joking.
And no one ever dies unless I see it. And you're like, maybe all the worst people. They're all dead now.
Yeah. No. Because next we do get a whole long conversation about the Black Aja and how they probably aren't chasing them down.
Yeah.
Because they would have caught up to them by now if they were.
Yeah.
And I think, like, why though?
They're not moving that fast.
Okay.
Like they're in a big wagon as merchants, and it's like they can only move so fast,
okay,
and if they're actually getting chased down.
Like, if you're getting chased down, or are you being followed?
Yeah.
Because there's a difference.
Yeah, that's true too. So on the good side, Nynaeve's thinking that at least we should be careful because anybody could be a dark friend at this point.
And then on the bad side, they forget that in 3 minutes from now. Immediately and trust everyone and anyone.
Right. That's like taking your own advice.
It's, yeah.
But we have got that back and forth where it's like, you be careful. Well, I'm always careful. They had that exchange back in Tanchico, so it's like...
No one's ever careful. You guys suck. You need serious help.
It's really funny because like at the very end of the book, last time we saw them, you're like, yeah, they're doing things. They're competent.
I know.
And then like the first instance we have where they can prove themselves.
Just wait. I just like...
Oh, shoot.
I think I wrote in my notes later... 1 step forward, 18 steps back.
See? Don't drink the spooky wine. Let's get to it. Okay.
So Elaine changes the subject to something more serious than the Black Aja, and that's...
Mo.
Mother.
Yeah, but it's Julian... Mo. She's going to say Mo. So you got to say Mother.
Mother.
Oh, yes, Mother.
Because Julian is sitting there.
Yeah. She could have said Morgaze.
She could have.
The same O sound.
Yeah. Anyway, they're trying not to worry about that now.
Yeah.
They got other things to worry about.
Yeah. It has been pointed out to us that our Canadian accents also hinder some pronunciations of the Damani and the Domani.
Oh, yes.
That in different accents, not our Canadian accents, like those are very distinct words, but to us they're like exactly the same.
Because of the way we
pronounce words.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's something to be said for that.
Some of the vowels are very similar sounding.
Yeah.
The way we speak.
Sorry, eh?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, Elaine brings up that when she's dreaming, she has the feeling that someone is watching her.
That's probably a good thing.
And, at this point, I put down my book, and I just, stared at the ceiling for, 3 full minutes, and went, oh my god. Because...
Okay.
Is this just, Elaine?
There's a lot of options for being watched.
No, okay. I was gonna say, is this... Egwene
watching Elaine,
just literally watching their dreams.
Could be.
And then when Elaine and Nynaeve and Egwene were all in the dream world feeling like they were being watched, was it just the wise ones?
It could have
just
so we've got some non-spooky options. We got the wise ones for sure.
Yeah.
We got Egwene.
That's what this
we've had Brigida too, being the spire.
Oh, just watching them.
On all the good guys.
Yeah.
Because she last time we saw her, she's like, yeah, I watch
I'm
everybody.
helping you because you guys suck.
You guys are the worst.
Yeah.
So there's some not bad options.
Yeah, because that's a legitimately after last chapters with Egwene like learning how to spawn people's dreams.
And the wise ones were like, you go try and find your friend's dreams.
Go find your friend's dreams.
Could be a
hint.
hint.
And then they're like, oh, I feel like my dreams are being watched.
Yeah.
And I was like, fuck off. Like, oh man.
It's good.
It could be spooky.
It could be spooky.
Nefarious.
Yeah. It also could just be like, fine.
But there's a very real chance that it's not fine.
Yeah. Now we got to get to the good stuff about the camp life.
Oh, the camp life.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
So Julian's collecting dead branches. Nynaeve is washing, getting them set up with their blankets. Tom gets back, tells us that Mardison isn't doing so well, but he did get some supplies. And we understand here that the town is withering away.
Yeah, because Terabon stuff.
Because there's no trade with Terabon, maybe.
Yeah, that's probably exactly why.
Maybe. Yeah, probably.
Yeah. Just like with Kyrian being in like civil war, it's like places around aren't going to be doing good.
Right.
His trade gets cut off.
Okay.
Yeah. Nothing spooky about that.
No. So Tom gives us some information about the Whitecloaks that he's found out.
Yep.
But it's not much.
No, really isn't.
It's actually very confusing for me, and I'm like, okay, wait, what's happening?
So
yeah, tell me.
Pedronile is pulling Whitecloaks back into Amador, and Tom doesn't understand why.
And I don't know why either.
Yeah, and there's rumors that maybe Niles is trying to stop a war between Ilian and Altara, or maybe Ilian and Mirandi, so that might be a hint about Ilian prepping for a war with somebody, because...
we did see...
Well, we know who's in charge of Ilian. Samuel.
Yeah.
So, like, there could be a real possibility of Ilian doing some stuff right now.
And when Rand was, like, running through Mirandi, we sort of got some weird tidbits about Ilian, like, soldiers and, like, being in Mirandi or something like that.
Yeah, it's some weird stuff from a while ago now, so...
I don't even know. How am I supposed to keep track of everything that ever happens?
Well...
There's so many things that always happen.
Yeah, so it's good. Well, it's probably not good.
It's probably not good.
It's good.
Well, and it's weird, too, because the last we saw Pedronile was at, like, the beginning of, what, like, the Great Hunt, or the beginning of the Dragon Reborn, or something like that?
Yeah. It was a long time ago now. Yeah.
But he was planning, he wanted to take, where's the neutral land? That...
Almouth Plain.
Almouth Plain.
Yeah.
He wanted to take that as his own.
Yeah. And basically be able to, like, conquer the West Coast. That was his whole plan, but that kind of got shot to shit.
Well, it's clearly not working.
It's not working, but also because, like, Jacob Carradine is also, like, a, dark friend.
A wrench in the plan.
Yeah, and he's doing his own thing, and he's got, like, competing orders, so...
Okay.
There's a whole lot of bad stuff going on.
Alright. So, Nynaeve is not interested in this, and so she uses this opportunity to say that she and Elaine will go off to buy some vegetables, because...
There's no vegetables.
Tom barely brought back anything.
Yeah.
And the men are about to flip a coin to see who's going to go with them, but Nynaeve is like, no, we'll be fine. And Elaine agrees, gets up to go with them, and Nynaeve points out she thinks at least Elaine didn't give Tom a coquettish look.
Yeah.
And I went, what? Because up to this point, nothing has been like 100% confirmed that Elaine is doing anything but treating Tom like a father figure. Like, in my brain, it's all very flirty and annoying.
Yeah.
But you were just like, oh, well, maybe it's like father figure stuff, whatever.
Yeah.
And we have like nothing that like 100% confirmed that for me yet. And I was like, what the hell does coquettish mean?
Yeah.
So I looked it up.
Okay.
Do you want to know the definition?
I do, because I actually don't know what it means.
Behaving in such a way as to suggest a playful sexual attraction, flirtatious.
Ah. Hussy Mayaner.
Hussy Mayaner.
Okay.
Hussy Elaine.
Hussy Elaine.
Yeah, because, this is where I wrote, I knew it.
Okay.
I knew it.
Figured
This is
out.
like it. This is like the thing on the cake, and I didn't realize earlier you were gonna say I was right, and I didn't know that in like a couple paragraphs from now, Nynaeve is totally gonna be like, quit it.
Cut it out. Yeah.
And so I looked this up.
Like in the middle.
Like right in the
so
middle,
good.
because I was like, what the hell is this word? I bet this proves everything that I'm thinking.
Yeah, so I'll give it to you. You were right.
Yeah.
You were right. You were right back when it first started. You're right.
Coquettish.
Yeah, good for you. Congratulations. You
I
get a
actually
star.
don't even know that's how, if you say it like that. But
I think it's coquettish.
Coquettish.
Probably don't pronounce that you.
Coquettish.
Coquettish.
Ah. I'll have to go back and listen to
I
how
have no idea.
Kate Reading does it.
Yeah.
All right, so Elaine and Nynaeve start walking. Once they're out of earshot of the men, Elaine asks if Nynaeve wants to talk about Moghedien.
Yeah, that's what it must be about.
Well, and I mean, like, maybe you guys should talk about it because this seems like a big deal.
Yeah, so just like sidebar, that's because they haven't told Julian that a Forsaken is loose and they battled.
Yes.
So that was still hidden information.
Hidden information. So, turns out, no, Nynaeve wants to talk about how Elaine has been behaving towards Tom.
Yeah, so I'm going to let you take the reins on this one.
Okay, so Nynaeve says that Tom is old enough to be your father. And then, like, right away, I'm like, well, how fuck old is Lan?
Yeah, hypocritical.
Yeah. Like, is it better because you are a bit older?
Well, no, she says later on, but I'm in love with Lan.
Yes.
That's the difference.
That's the difference. You can't just flirt with somebody.
But it's like, hey, Nynaeve, what were you before you were in love?
And, like, here's the thing. I get that Tom is, like, a silver fox and all.
Yeah.
But he's, like, legit an older dude. Like, he's older.
He's medium. He's not that much older.
He strikes me as, like, just this old guy. Like, it's not, in my brain, Lan and Tom are not even on, like, the same planet. Like, they're not on the same level at all.
Okay. Well, we know that Malkier fell about, like, what, 50 years ago?
I don't know.
Yeah, we know that.
Oh, we do know that.
It's about 50 years ago.
Oh, I thought Lan was, like, 40. 50?
Probably closer in that range.
Oh my god. See, that's old. But he's so hot.
Nynaeve thinks to herself, like, Lan could be my father.
He does have gray in his temples.
And Nynaeve is mid-20s.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying, like...
And we get Tom in love with, like, young Dina.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, you know that? I never think of
She's
Lan...
just a big hypocrite. Like, that's all that's happening
Yeah,
here.
okay, that is happening here. I just think that Lan is way hotter than Tom, so I don't care.
I also, just like, side note, I don't condone this relationship between Elaine and Tom.
Oh, no, it's really fucked up.
And Tom's doing... He doesn't accept it either. Like, Tom clearly is uncomfortable with it.
I don't like about it the very most is that he was in love with her mother.
Yeah.
Like, if that relationship had never happened and Elaine was, like, attracted to him...
More acceptable?
Way more acceptable.
So, I have a question, because there's, like, a little weird point in here about the fact that Elaine does recognize that her mom and Tom were an item.
Yeah, I know.
And she talks about
We're gonna
how...
get that.
Yeah, should we wait until we get to that line?
Yeah.
Okay.
We should.
Because I just don't understand it all.
Well, I feel like she just wants some attention.
Yeah.
And Tom's not even giving her any attention, so I don't get it.
Yeah.
Like,
is it like a competition thing between, like, she's trying to compete against her mom for the attention? Like, in a, like, I don't know.
No, I don't feel that at all. I think that she's just looking for some attention because she's lonely and missing, like, for the first time, I think probably ever for Elaine, right? That she's got some actual legitimate male attention from Rand. They were kissing in corners.
Yeah.
You know, they're in love, whatever. She's having her first little relationship, and now they're so far away from each other that she's like...
And like a slow, boring journey, no action going on, so...
Yeah, I don't really get it, but it's happening.
Okay, we're here for the ride.
All right, we also get that Elaine is like, well, Tom isn't my father. My father is someone important. And she, like, gives the whole title.
Yeah, and that, again, that could be taken in two ways, where it's like, she's saying that Tom's not my father, so it's not, like, a weird thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because this is when Nynaeve is like, he's old enough to be your father. And he's like, yeah, but...
He's not my father.
She's like, he's not my father. This is who my father is. Can you say his, like, whole title?
Yeah. Terengale Damodred, a prince of Cairhien, and first prince of the Sword of Andor.
All right, and we knew that.
Oh yeah, we knew everything about Terengale.
Okay. Cool,
it was just
remember.
It was that whole speculation because the timelines of Tom and Morghase's relationship is a little bit questionable because Tom's the one who got Terengale assassinated because Terengale was plotting to kill Morghase.
Probably, yeah.
Probably, like based on the conversation we heard from, I think it was Moraine and Tom.
Yeah,
it was like based on that. So
was originally with Tigraine.
Tigraine, yeah.
And they had Galad.
Yes.
And then Tigraine ran off to the waste and became Shael.
Yeah, Shael.
Yeah, and had Rand.
Yes. With?
Rand. No, Rand is the kid.
Rand's a kid with?
Janduin.
Yeah, Janduin. Okay.
Okay.
Who then
died.
Led all the Aiel out of the waste and killed Laman.
Right.
Who's and basically like
and faced Luke in the Blade.
Yeah.
And died.
Exactly. Which was like Lan's cousin.
Oh my goodness.
And then Moraine's also like related to Laman, so there's that.
And also probably Terengale.
Yeah,
Moraine
she's a
also-
damage red.
Yeah.
And
so they're
Galad.
related somehow.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. I need a family flowchart.
So it's really funny because when you get into history of like our world, when you look really far back, all the rulers of like most nations are all interconnected and related.
Oh yeah? Well, let's talk about
100%.
Queen Elizabeth and Prince Philip, who are like legit cousins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's like they're related to like the Russian czars and everything too. Like everyone high up in the world is basically, family on some level.
Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a very broad spectrum of like what I'm talking about, but it's like it makes sense that everybody's like interconnected in some way.
Yeah.
Because that's how marriages would work way back when, is you marry people who are like leaders or brothers or sisters or cousins or children of other countries, and that's how it works.
Okay. So, getting back to this though, because Nynaeve is like, "Hey Elaine, I thought you were in love with Rand. What are you doing flirting with Tom?" And Elaine is like, "But it's hard being so far away, and he's gonna become interested in a maiden."
Yeah.
And then Nynaeve's like, "Well, you don't have to flirt with somebody just because he's flirting with people, and he's not. He's not flirting with people. Avienda's watching out for him."
Yeah, don't worry.
Don't worry.
Huh?
Avienda's
Huh?
watching out for him. Uh-oh.
This ought to be good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alright, so then Elaine brings up the point about Min having a viewing about her and about Rand.
Uh-huh.
And Min used to joke about having to share him, but now Elaine doesn't think it's a joke.
Yeah.
And Nynaeve
It doesn't
gets
sound like a joke.
super judgy and is like, "Oh, that's ridiculous."
Oh, you know what? I super hate Nynaeve's opinion on this.
Oh yeah, she calls it a vile Aiel custom.
Yeah, and the wicked ways of the Aiel.
Oh.
Like
oh
the
my God.
non-monogamous relationships.
Yeah.
Like, it's
Not great. It's not a great look for you, Nynaeve.
It's bad.
Yeah.
But I mean, again, this is like cultures clash.
Oh yeah. Yep. Not great. Not a great look.
No.
So Nynaeve also brings up the point that Tom was sent here by Moraine and he has his own secrets. He knows too much to be a simple Vlee man. And Elaine says he was a great man and could have been even greater if it weren't for love.
Yeah.
And so we get like 100%, because I don't remember if we ever 100% got that she remembers.
Yeah, we weren't 100% sure. There were hints that she did.
Yeah.
But now it's like, yeah.
Okay, she remembers.
She remembers.
She gets it.
She gets pretty much everything that, happened.
And then she's still throwing herself at him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's the whole thing, like the weird part that I don't fully understand, but it's not impossible. Like, it's not an impossible thing that couldn't happen.
What? Them getting together?
No, like her, like, so I've heard criticisms of the, like, oh, she would never do that. Like a person who was Elaine would never throw herself at a person like Tom because of the whole Tom was in a relationship with Morgaze, so it would be weird. But like, I don't view that as a totally impossible thing, as
Oh no!
I could see it happening.
Like, it's uncomfortable and
it's
weird,
uncomfortable and it's weird, but I can see
but
that.
I get it.
Yeah,
I get it.
I kind of get it. I don't like it, but I get it.
Yeah, and I'm sure like Tom just freaking hates it.
Yeah, that's why he's like,
because
yeah,
he
okay.
views her as like a daughter.
Yeah,
so it's like super weird.
super weird.
Yeah, weird.
Weird for Tom.
Super weird.
Poor guy. Okay.
Yeah, okay, so at this point, Nynaeve is just done. Elaine isn't even freaking listening. And Elaine still seems very stubborn. And she's like, "I'm not a child any longer. And I'm as much as a woman as my mother is."
Yeah, so that's the weird, like, is it some weird competition with Elaine in her own brain?
I have no idea.
I don't know. I don't get it, but
I think it might end soon.
hopefully.
Now that she, like, knows that Nynaeve is picking up on this.
Yeah. It, like, knocks some sense into her.
Maybe.
It's kind of funny because Nynaeve probably has some experience as, like, a wisdom talking about this kind of stuff. Because Emmons Field is super strict on relationships. And it's like you have to get engaged and be engaged for a year.
And then you have to get, like, permission.
Married. Yeah, permission.
From,
it's like all this stuff. So I bet Nynaeve has some, experience dealing with weird young people in relationships or, like, trying to hook up with people.
Weird young people in relationships is way different than this.
It's, yeah.
This is weird.
Okay.
Okay. But this discussion is pretty much done. The women are actually going into Meridecent to look for vegetables because Tom, can you believe this? Brought back
Oh my gosh.
3
hams.
salted hams.
Oh, that's way too many hams.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
And so the women make their way to the village without anything exciting happening, and then we get 2 pages of description of the town, the people, it's hot outside, there's Whitecloaks around.
Yep.
But I did make a little note that the people are all sort of like sulking around.
Okay.
And I didn't know if this was almost like Ilian.
Oh, okay. We don't get the same vibe, but it is similar.
Yeah.
Like, it was more specifically outlined when we were in Ilion, where it was like all being so close to Samael,
Yeah.
and the weird dreams that everyone was getting. Like,
right.
it was like a quarter or a third of people were getting these weird dreams.
Yeah.
It was making everybody unhappy.
Yeah.
So it could be something similar.
Yeah, because at first I was like, ugh, where's Fane? But I was like, oh, he's in the tower.
The thing with this, if you eat salted ham and beans in really hot weather for like a month,
you also will sulk around.
It's gonna happen.
Oh my god. Okay, so that's just a side note. In case anything weird starts happening here.
On record, you said it, you called it.
Yeah, because we still don't actually know where, like, other Forsaken are.
And why not Amadicia with the Whitecloaks? Like, we know there's, dark friends.
Yeah,
in the Whitecloaks.
We know there are.
So, hey.
Like, maybe this random tiny village. I don't know. Okay.
Calling it now.
Yeah, maybe. Alright, so as they're walking, Nynaeve sees a shop that has something hanging beside the door.
Yeah. It's broomweed.
Of course.
I don't know what it is. It might be a real thing. I didn't look it up.
Yeah, I don't know. But it's got tiny yellow flowers and it's
like wrapped up all fancy.
Yeah, with a yellow ribbon and it's hanging upside down and it could just be a decoration, but Nynaeve recognizes this as an emergency signal of the yellow Aja.
Hence the chapter title.
Right.
Yeah.
Signal.
It's a signal.
Yes, from one of the yellows, ears and eyes.
Eyes and ears.
Eyes and ears.
Yeah. Gotta get it right.
Sorry. And so Elaine and
Ears and eyes. That's crazy.
Elaine and I discuss how Nynaeve knows about this because she was like sort of studying with some of the yellows.
Yeah,
in the
so
tower.
this is good because we get some insight into what Nynaeve was doing this whole time.
Yeah, why hasn't Nynaeve, who's like pretending to be an Aes Sedai, why did she take up green? Why didn't she pretend to be yellow?
That's a good question.
Because she's clearly a yellow. Like, she's gonna choose yellow. If she ever completes her training, she'll go be a yellow for sure. There's no way she's not. This is like the biggest fucking deal, this healing business.
It could be a situation where they all just kind of like chose the same.
Yeah, they did.
And Nynaeve was like, I don't know, I guess so.
Yeah, I feel like she'd be like independent and be like, you guys are green, idiots, I'm yellow.
Yeah, I can also see her being super stubborn and not picking what she actually wants to be.
You know, I could also see it as a tactic because if somebody knows she's a yellow Aja, they're going to ask her to heal.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
And she might not be able to because she doesn't really know 100% how to heal with the power. She has a talent for the herbs and the...
She can do it when it's like,
accidental heals.
Yeah.
She sort of healed that other Aiel who died 3 days later.
Yep.
But
it's not like an on-the-spot immediate Moraine style. Oh,
plus the anger,
boom,
like she can't channel every time.
Yeah.
So maybe declaring herself as a yellow would be bad if people wanted her to.
Alternatively, if she says green and she got caught by Aes Sedai, who were then like, no, you can never be a green because you lied, then it's like, boom, I'll just be yellow.
I didn't think that is a thing that could happen.
I'm spitballing ideas here.
Okay.
Let's get to the good part of this chapter.
All right. So
the point of the signal is that the message has to be like super urgent if the eyes and ears person is willing to risk uncovering herself.
Yeah.
Especially in Amadicia.
Right.
Where it's like insta death if you're Aes Sedai or whatever.
Or you're related
or a spy for them. So like it's all bad.
Right. So Nynaeve found out about the signal when she was in the tower.
Yeah.
And now they got to figure out what they're going to do. And instead of being like, oh shit, we could be being chased by the Black Aja and this could be a trap. Or...
well, how'd they get ahead of them?
Eyes and ears.
Oh, right. Yeah, that's true too. Okay. Good point.
Literal anything.
Literally that.
Literally anything.
Yep.
Anything else. Let's be very careful. But before that... let's go in and have tea with this nice lady.
Let's go check this emergency signal with the very suspicious, antsy-looking woman who's very, very nervous. So nervous.
Okay, so Elaine is like, how are we going to find out what this is? And Nynaeve's like, follow my lead. And she hopes that...
Shamarin.
What is his name?
Okay, so this is the thing. It's not Sheriam. No, Shamarin is the yellow who told Nynaeve all the like secret passwords and stuff.
Now, Shamarin...
yeah.
We know from somewhere... is she with Elida right now?
Yes, we've heard that name before.
Okay, because I can't keep track of the Aes Sedai with Liandrin and the Aes Sedai with Elida.
Okay, yeah, not one of like the 13 Black Aja sisters or whatever. So
Right. Okay. No. So she's with Elida right now, which makes the signal later when we find out what it is, like, make sense.
yeah, Shamarin's one of the ones who literally went to go and still, like in that collection, who stormed Swan's chamber.
Yes.
Yeah,
That's how I know the name. So she's with Elida, and she was also in the like boss meeting.
Yeah.
That Elida was like, wait a minute,
I'm in control here. Yeah, that's the one.
Okay, so Elena and Nynaeve head into this seamstress shop with the signal. There's 2 women inside. One is younger, probably the apprentice, and one is older, definitely the seamstress, and they haven't had much business lately.
Yeah, so they're like, oh my god, who are you? Why are you in their shop?
Right. So we also get that her name is Rhonda Makura.
Yes.
Okay.
Good job.
Thanks. So Rhonda asks, how can I serve you? And Nynaeve gives the secret passcode.
Yeah, when you find out a little bit after she says the funny little sequence.
Basically, you have to say anything that has the words yellow and heal in it.
Yeah, so she orders a dress, and then she's like, well, if it's not this signal, then I'll just find a way to back out of the sale.
Yeah.
We'll go back and forth, we'll haggle on price.
Yeah, but Rhonda picks up on the secret phrase right away, sends the younger woman Lucy to the kitchen to start the tea from the blue canister. Remember, it's my good tea from the blue canister.
The best tea, the blue one.
This makes my alarms go right off.
That's good.
Oh my god.
I'm glad that immediately you're like, oh no, this is bad.
I was like, bad news,
Why
bad
the blue
news,
canister?
bad news.
That's not the good tea. That's the poison.
Warning.
Danger.
And then Nynaeve is like, here's the secret hand signal confirmation.
Thumb and forefinger on your right hand forming a circle.
See, I picture like this, you know, the thing that you do?
Yeah, like on your leg.
And you get to punch someone if they look at it?
Yeah.
That's what I picture.
That's exactly. I like that better. Nynaeve deserves to be punched.
Oh my god. Okay, so it's the circle for the Great Serpent Ring.
Yeah.
Nynaeve repeats the sign, introduces herself with her name.
Yeah.
Nynaeve and Elaine.
This is good. Yeah.
And
Nothing wrong here.
And then asks for the urgent message. So this is interesting though, because later you're probably going to ask me like why this is happening.
Sure.
And the woman Rhonda sent for the sleepy tea.
Yeah, the poison tea.
Yeah. Before she knew their names or who specifically they were.
Okay.
But like, I guess their description, like the way they look is pretty distinct.
Yeah, it's like, hey, be on the lookout for 2 younger looking Aes Sedai.
Perhaps.
Yeah.
Perhaps.
They're not in disguised hairs or anything like that.
No,
so, like,
they're not in any sort of disguise.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, sidebar, we don't technically know 100% that the Aes Sedai from Tanchico, the Black Aja, know that it was Elaine and Nynaeve.
No.
We don't know that they know that.
No, I think that this is actually... Yeah, let's get into it.
It could just be like an anything situation.
Yeah, I do think that this is probably Elida.
Okay, let's get a little further and we'll talk about that.
Okay, so Rhonda's like, we should go to the kitchen to speak. They shouldn't talk out here for where anyone can just walk in, and she seems super nervous. And Nynaeve is like, oh, if she's this nervous, it must be a very important sign. It must be a very important
bad news that
signal.
She's got. Yeah.
Yeah. And I went, nope, no way, nope, don't do it. No
She's
kitchen.
evil. Don't go into the secondary location.
No
don't
kitchen.
go.
No kitchen.
Never go to the secondary location.
Don't do it. And so Lucy pops her head in and she's like, the tea is ready. and so they all head into the kitchen. And Elaine and Nynaeve sit down, and Rhonda gives them both a cup of tea.
Hold on, but you missed it.
What?
The blue canister is still on the table, so then she, like, gets it hurriedly and puts the thing on, then puts it back up on the shelf.
Oh, I missed
because
that.
dumb Lucy left it out.
Oh, yeah. It's not that they would notice anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway, so...
There's a lot of hints that are like, don't drink the tea.
Yeah, and they weren't even going to, and Nynaeve is like, oh, what's the message? And then Rhonda's like, I live in this shop. That's why I have a kitchen here. And then
it's like I figured.
And Nynaeve is like, oh, I'll calm her down by drinking her tea.
Yeah.
Oh.
And Elaine's already like,
Elaine's
she's
like,
down the entire
delicious.
She's finished the whole thing.
What kind of tea is this? It's so good.
Oh man.
Oh,
this is so funny.
Like,
it's so bad. It's so funny though.
These women left on their own can't do anything right. Like that's what it comes down to, and it's so freaking annoying.
It's yeah.
Because the second they're on their own,
yeah, like literally immediately, the first person they go and talk to.
Oh,
and if
God.
one of the men had been there just as like a backup plan, not drinking the tea. No. But anyways, let's get a little further so we can discuss why this is happening.
Sip their tea delicious.
You can't even get through it.
Oh, and I go, no, don't do it. Oh, it's such a nice taste. Okay, so finally, Rhonda tells them the message. It came nearly a month ago with orders from any sister passing must hear it at all costs. All sisters are welcome to return to the White Tower. The tower must be whole and strong.
Yes.
And now let me tell you at this point reading. So the whole page before, super weird, super nervous, definitely poison tea. Don't drink the tea. Don't go to the secondary location. And I was like so amped and hyped. Like, no way. This is so dangerous. Don't do this.
Yeah.
And then this is the message.
Yes.
So the writing is so funny because I immediately go, oh, that's it?
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Because I went, oh, that makes sense for this to be whatever. It makes sense for her to be nervous because they're in Amadicia and this is clearly like an Aes Sedai thing. And it makes sense that Elida wants everybody back at the tower. So she's sent out for signals.
Yeah.
And I went right away like, I'm confused. I really thought this was bad news. And I guess it's not. And then a second later, it's still bad news.
It's bad news. Okay.
So Nynaeve is confused by this message and is like, what are you talking about? And then the heat is catching up to her and suddenly her head feels too heavy for her neck and she sees Elaine slumping onto the table and it's much too late.
It's much too late. Way too late for this.
It's a trap. And I went, oh wait, what? I'm so confused. That's a real message, but it's also a trap.
It was the tea. It was the tea.
But it was a real message, I think.
Yeah.
Like a real signal.
Well, let's talk about this.
But then it's also a trap. So Nynaeve demands to know what Rhonda gave them. She tries to stand, and the last thing she hears is the seamstress saying, Catch her, Lucy.
Does Lucy catch Nynaeve?
Doubt it. And so I just wrote, Jesus.
Okay, so let's...
This is where I wrote, 1 step forward, 10 steps back, LOL, the end.
Yeah, so let's discuss the sequence of events here. So we know that a month ago they got this message that all sisters passing should hear this message. Now, do you think it's reasonable that the eyes and ears, this woman, would or should be drugging every Aes Sedai who comes?
Definitely not.
Okay, because like what's the purpose of that? Tell them the message and then let the Aes Sedai decide whether or not, like, how could you expect a non-channeler woman to essentially poison and kidnap Aes Sedai? Like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
But what we do know is that Elida's in charge of the tower, and she also has been forging notes to Morghese for the last little while about Elaine.
Yeah.
Pretending Elaine is still in the tower.
Oh, and they're looking for Elaine.
Elida is literally looking for Elaine.
Right.
So when friggin' Elaine, who Elida probably gave the description of at least Elaine, be like, be on the lookout for this person.
Because she wanted all the second in commands.
Yes.
Tell me what your plan is to find Elaine. Tell me what your plan is to find Rand. Tell me what your plan is to find the Blues and everyone else. And so it's like the plan was tell all the eyes and ears, put out this emergency signal.
And that kind of makes sense when first she's like shocked that, oh, there's an Aes Sedai here for a message. But then Rhonda Makura sees Elaine via the description of, oh my God. And then it kind of sounds like the rule or the plan that's put in place is like, if Elaine walks in, do whatever it takes to kidnap her and get her back to the tower. Yeah. Like, don't let her escape.
Yeah, probably don't murder her. Like, I don't at any point think that they're, like, dead.
Yeah, like, this doesn't seem like a Dark Friend plot. It seems like a tower plot.
Yeah.
It's a tower plot to get people to, like, listen to the message to come back, but also subplot of
and
get
it might
Elaine.
Be, yeah, because I thought maybe Nynaeve as well.
Which is possible.
Because we know that Nynaeve is also missing from the tower.
Yeah.
Out on Swan's orders. And like I said before, we don't know what Swan actually told Elida about everything.
So, like, at minimum, Elida for sure is worried about finding Elaine.
Okay.
She wants her back in the tower.
Okay.
We got that from Elida's perspective.
Are you just, like, leading me off, or is that something you're, like, actually telling me?
No, we saw Elida be like, where's Elaine?
That,
we need her.
Okay.
And she's writing fake letters to Morghese pretending to be Elaine, being like, I'm in the tower and everything's great.
Yeah.
But Morghese is all compelled out of her mind.
So it doesn't even matter.
It doesn't even matter.
That's so bad. Everything
all very
is
complicated.
Awesome. Okay. This is like that dog just like sitting and drinking his coffee with the fire behind him.
Yeah. Everything's on fire.
This is fine.
But yeah, but the big
Everything
question
is
is like,
fine.
what now? So like, if this is the tower plot and it is just a light up, but like, what does that mean for this whole drugging sequence? Are they gonna be, shipped off to the tower?
I don't know.
What's happening?
I don't know. How long, with them being away, will Tom and Julian go to find them?
Yeah.
Do Tom and Julian know that the seal for the Dark One's prison is in the wagon? I don't know.
They don't know enough.
They don't know enough.
Yeah. So, I mean, these chapters a little bit slow right to the very end, but it's like the lead in to like get us back into the Nynaeve and Elaine perspective to see what's going on.
I am eager to read on, so that's good.
It's a good cliffhanger.
Yeah, okay. I think we actually talked for a while about those nothings.
Yeah, I had fun. It was good.
Yeah,
we get to move on.
We do. All right. And before you accept a cup of tea from a really, really nervous random stranger, I'm going to say that this is part of the pattern now.
Yeah, it's part of the pattern.
That's all for now, but until next time, thank you so much for listening to this episode. The Wheel Weaves is hosted by Danny and Brett, edited by Danny, produced by Danny and Brett with Passion Socks, Mozyme, Moltude, Benjamin, Michelle O'Brien, Jamie Young, Cody Fouts, Giannis, and Megan Smiley, with music by audionautics.com. If you're interested in supporting us and helping us to make really great content, you can head over to our Patreon at patreon.com/thewheelweavespodcast. And you'll also get access to some really great bonus content like early access to our regular episodes, bonus episodes, unedited video episodes, access to our live recordings, monthly Q&As, and more like stickers and keychains. Don't forget to find us on social media. We're on Instagram and Twitter at The Wheel Weaves Podcast. We'd also love for you to join the conversation over at our Discord, and you can find the link to that in our bios on those social medias. We'd love for you to tell a friend about us. Referrals really are the best compliment. We'd love for you to leave a review and subscribe. That really does make a huge difference. Thanks so much again for listening. This really is part of the pattern now.